Welcome to a higher dimension. I'm Gloria Danvers from Gloria Danvers Hypnosis in Orlando, Florida, and I'm your host for Higher Dimension. As a hypnotherapist, I work with everyday people who are having extraordinary experiences in the fascinating world of past life regression, therapeutic hypnosis, psychic abilities, spiritual awakenings, and paranormal experiences. Join me and my guests every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. as we explore their powerful stories and extraordinary experiences together. Not only will you hear their stories, but we will also talk about what comes next. What happens after you have this experience? Does it change you? Who are you? What do you know now that you didn't know before? We'll dive into some deep, eye-opening conversations that you won't want to miss. If you're interested in working with me and having your own amazing hypnosis experience, you can contact me at gloriadanvershypnosis.com. If you're here listening to this podcast, chances are you are ready for me. You are ready for this experience. So shoot me an email, book a free consultation. Maybe it's time for you to shake up what you think you know about the world, about yourself, who you've been, who your friends really are, and where you're going. You can catch me on Apple Podcast, Podbean, Podchaser, Spotify, and iHeart.com. But right now, let's just sit back, relax, and uncover the hidden depths of the human experience right here on a higher dimension. Hello, everyone. Today, I want to talk about ancestral trauma and ancestral healing. No matter what your parents told you, you were not found under a cabbage leaf. You come from a long line of Homo sapiens and, yes, a few Neanderthals as well. This family line is so long that it literally disappears in the mists of time. But these are the people who made you who you are. Think of your own life. Think of all that you've experienced, all that you've thought, all that you've been through, all that you've learned. And now multiply that by 1,000 generations. This is the ancestral energy that we all carry. All the strengths, all the wisdom, all the trauma, all of the negative family patterns, and all the positive family patterns too. You know, I always like to say that when you come into this world as a baby, you are perfect, whole, and complete. And to a degree, that's true. But you are also coming in with the burdens and strengths of your family as well. And since you were raised in a family who carried those burdens and strengths, there's almost certainly a chance that you will carry them too. It's something that we don't even think about. We like to think that our thoughts are our own, our actions are our own. But the truth is, our parents teach us how to think and live and feel, just like their parents taught them, and their parents before them, and their parents before them. Every person that came before you, each person whose DNA you carry, had thoughts and dreams and problems just like you do. As surely as you carry the genetic DNA that you can see in the mirror, or that comes back in your blood test results, you also carry that spiritual DNA. We often say things like, that kind of pain runs in the family. Well, there's some truth to that. Trauma can actually get passed down through our genes, not by changing the DNA itself, but by flipping little switches that tell our bodies how to respond to the world. It's like your great-grandmother went through something hard and her body adapted. And those adaptations can still be showing up in you today. They may show up as anxiety and panic attacks. Since the switch to elevate the flight, fight, or freeze mechanism was activated by her trauma, so now the necessity to be hypervigilant has made a place in your autonomic system. and you don't even know why. But here's the beautiful part. Those switches are not stuck. With healing, awareness, and intention, we can start to flip them back. We can shift the patterns, not just for ourselves, but for those who come after us. And that's what ancestral healing is all about. It's changing the story. When I'm working with someone, I listen to them talk about their family because no one is an island unto themselves. So it's not only about them, it's about their environment. It's about the people who raised them. It's about the extended family that they were surrounded by, the family myths and legends. And I realize that not only does this person need to do the healing work that they came to me for, but they are also carrying the trauma of all their ancestors as well. In order for my client to do healing work on themselves that is truly meaningful and deep, they also need to go back generations to find the root of the trauma. And I don't want you to think that it's only trauma, because you can also go back and track the genetic predisposition of all the good things that you carry forward from your family too. A person doesn't only need to heal from their own trauma, but also from their position in the family. There's trauma there as well. A lot of people are really lucky. They're born into super positive families, and that positivity stretches back generations. But those aren't the people that are coming to me. The people that come to see me are bound by invisible chains that they can't even see and they don't even know about. So I'll give you an example. Let's say a client comes to me, and as we do the intake and talk through their history, I see that their family has been Catholic or just religious for many generations. Now, I want you to keep in mind this is purely an example, and I'm not meaning to disparage any religion. Every single religion carries a set of rules to live by. Rules that were created hundreds of years ago, in times that were completely different from our own. Living a modern life with ancient rules creates a kind of cognitive dissonance. It keeps the subconscious stuck between moving forward and living comfortably in today's culture and trying to live by the rules of that religion, which may be stifling, unforgiving, and stiff. Rules that paint you with the sins of generations ago, before you even had a chance to live your life. This was all passed on to you. This is not the result of your own experiences or choices, but rather the emotional and spiritual residue of those who came before you. And this is layered into your being before you ever had a say in the matter. So when you say that your ancestors are with you, not only are they with you spiritually, but they're with you physically as well. Their presence is felt in both your body and your spiritual inclinations. I do this work in hypnosis, putting my client into a trance and then asking the client in trance to take me back up into the ancestral line. We are then able to keep going back until we find the initial root of the problem in a previous ancestor. This is where the healing work begins. And the healing work can be spiritual, physical, emotional, or a combination of all three. You've heard that famous saying that time isn't abstract. Well, this is true, and we know that. And because we know that, we also know that everything is happening at once. When you go back and work with your ancestral line to bring healing in that moment, the healing is then passed down through the ancestral line to you. Your ancestors are at that moment able to attain a higher vibrational level, and they instantly pass it on to you. So healing the ancestral line and then bringing that healing all the way down to you as the client will bring peace for everyone. It is easier to pick a brick off a pile from the top and go one by one down than it is to address it at the bottom and punch the whole thing down. It's chaotic, and it doesn't achieve anything. But with every brick that you remove, every healing that you bring, every forgiveness, every amount of peace, your ancestral line becomes lighter and lighter, and that lightness transfers itself down to you. And yes, this can all be accomplished in a few sessions. Hypnosis is really amazing for that. And after the sessions, what happens when you go home? You are so much lighter. You have more patience for yourself, for your family. And all of a sudden, those switches that we were talking about before, they flip back off. And it's not just for you. It's for your family and their children and their children's children. Your ancestors did not have the opportunity to do this kind of healing, as this work was not widely known to them. But it is available to you. One of the ways that you begin is to sit in a meditation. And you can imagine that all your ancestors are there with you. And you can sit quietly and ask them to come forward with any messages they might have for you. And then trust those messages. Another is to assemble a small altar for them with things that might represent what they loved and enjoyed. And maybe the things that they loved and enjoyed that you love and enjoy also. It creates a chain between you. If all you ever do in this life is to heal the generational, physical, and spiritual trauma that has come through your ancestral line, then you will be doing the greatest service, not only to them, but to your family and everyone that comes in contact with your family and future generations to come. You can be that person. And as for this podcast today, no message is given randomly. If you're listening to this today, then this message is for you. And I know that there are some books out there that address this topic, but the true healing is to be found in you, yourself. You are the one that brings the energy to that. And if your intention is to truly bring peace and healing to your ancestral line, both physically and spiritually, then deep down inside, you know how to do it. Now I'm going to share a short meditation with you to connect with your ancestors, to begin healing for them so that they can begin healing the line that flows down to you. And before we begin, just a quick note, if you're driving, operating machinery, or doing anything that requires your full attention, please come back to this part later when you can sit down and relax. This is a short reflective meditation, and I want you to be safe while you listen. So let's take a moment. Take a moment together, just a pause, and take a deep breath in, and then blow out. Another deep breath in, and then blow out. And once again, a deep breath in, and exhale. Now, I'd like for you to imagine, just for a moment, that behind you stands a long line of people. These are your ancestors. They stretch back through time, generation after generation. Some were strong, some were wounded, some were wise, and some were lost. But all of them survived long enough for you to be here. You are their living prayer. And in this meditation, you might quietly say to yourself, I honor those who came before me. With all my love, I send healing back into my line so that my ancestors may release the trauma that they have carried, so that I may only carry what is mine, heal it, and then release what is not mine to carry. I ask that they remember the joy they experienced here in this human life and hold on to it so that I may hold on to and experience that because it is my spiritual legacy from those who came before me. And now allow yourself to feel the strength that flows through you from that line. And also allow any heaviness that doesn't belong to you to begin to lift. You can say thank you to them for surviving long enough to bring you into the world. And as they heal, they want to tell you that you don't need to carry it all. That you can be light, and you can be free, and you can make your own way in this world, knowing that a healed ancestor is one that will stand by you and help guide you on your path. So take one more deep breath in and exhale. And as you move through your day, know this: you are not alone. You are part of something bigger. And healing yourself ripples both backwards and forwards through time. So thanks so much for joining me today. And please tune in next Tuesday at 6 a.m. for an interview that you absolutely don't want to miss. Until then, take good care of yourself and remember, healing runs deep in the spirit, and love will always be the fruit of that. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that I've managed to pique your interest, raise your curiosity, give you something to think about, teach you something that you didn't know before, or send you down a major rabbit hole. If you're curious about what I do, shoot me an email. Go on to my website, gloriadanvers.com, and book a free consultation. Let's discover something about you that you didn't know. I'll be back next week. And until then, stay curious and stay open to all the things that come in for you in a higher dimension.